So it's just like a dog.
I know.
Honestly,
It's like, no. It's gonna be
told me
like
that this was a
trauma.
That's it. Oh, that's his trauma. Okay, I can live with that.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to help you build your brand or business online. More on that later.
Life is good.
Yeah, you guys. I feel like you guys have always been a good team.
Yeah. I think a big part of it was like I wanted to make sure it never felt like we were competing with each other on like who's doing more or who's like who has his attention the most. I think like when he's like now he's saying mama, it was never like a race to like a lot of times on social media you'll see videos of like, oh, the baby says dada first and like, you know, the mom feels a certain way or whatever.
For me, there was like a sense of like dad guilt, just like knowing no matter how much I thought I was doing, she will always trump it. She will always have like the upper leg on that, literally.
Yeah.
So like there was a little bit of like resentment, like of, like almost towards myself of like, oh, like I will never have an excuse.
Where it's like my nipples are useless.
Like why can't I do more? And like even if I do more, like it will never be enough. And but it's great that you guys can have that like you know, mutual understanding.
I think it's already good that you guys have like that kind of outlook as well. You know, it's very easy to not remember that there's like another person that like did that.
I've been so like conditioned out. Even that is like a low bar of like, good job.
No, exactly.
So
exactly.
I'm like, even that I'm like, I can't even accept that. You know?
I know, which is good. I think that's really good. I know bar is in hell for women.
I mean,
you
like
know?
a big topic too is just like the content that is geared towards men is so just like kind of outdated these days. It's like I don't remember if we talked about it, but it's like I was reading like some books and like articles and like the books came out in recent years and it's like, oh, like you can miss a football game here and there for like, you know, to help your wife or whatever. It's like, man, like
wow.
The crazy thing is that there's not even there's probably a lot of men out there that actually need to read them.
So I mean,
because no one else in their ecosystem is telling them that.
Like we joke a lot about, you know, just my experience of whatever. It's like it's all fun and games, but like honestly, if whatever I can do to help just like be an example for like men who are in a similar position, maybe, you know, unplanned or something like that, like where they need guidance. Like there's some influencers these days that are like, you know, very positive father influencers. And, you know, I've listened to a lot of ABG episodes with you as well. Cool. I always think about like how much laundry I do every day, and like that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, so, I never thought I would do that much laundry.
I think that's an untapped market is father fluencers.
I actually I was searching for the same stuff too, and I felt like I was watching more mom influencers, obviously, but like on the dad side, I feel like there definitely are father specific, you know, mental struggles and physical struggles too, and I think because of that guilt of not wanting to like think that we have it just as hard, which we obviously don't, it makes us feel like those feelings are not valid. But the one thing that I would try to tell a lot of men is no, it's still valid, and thankfully Helen also validated me too and says no, it's in your scope of understanding, you know, we should talk about it, because the worst thing that can happen is that you keep it all in and then some type of negativity or resentment actually forms and comes out in the wrong way, right? So it's better to have an open communication or outlet for that.
Definitely.
And then to your point, there are like male podcasts and all these whatever types of content out there, and sometimes like it's like in a weird brand of what father or manhood is, and I'm like, oh, like is this like if that's out there affecting like men's, you know, ears and mindsets, like oh, something else should be there to like counter that, right. And I don't feel like there's enough of that.
I think even now, like coming back to work and then having to like leave and then go home, like I know in the first like few weeks it was pretty tough to leave them at home and then come back and like feel exhausted and like, oh, now I have to do that routine that I was doing before. But like,
oh man, you're bringing me back right now.
I've since gotten over that and like have strategic checkpoints throughout the day to be okay. Let me get some caffeine in here, and then once I get home, I could be, you know, productive and then knock out what I need to knock out.
Be present as well.
Be present,
yeah, for sure.
So we got a really good system. I'm really excited for when he's like up and about, but also it's like I'm tired.
That means you have to chase after him more.
No, I literally can't even remember what it was like where you could just put him down and
Yeah.
he doesn't go anywhere. And
Yeah.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, that's so easy. But then at the time,
Yeah.
it's like, no, there's so many other things that, make it harder. So
Yeah.
it's this constant, like these bars or meters are like, this thing's easier, but this thing's harder. And then, it like recalibrizes for other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, once they start moving around and then once they actually need to be like attended to, and then you also have to like start teaching them things and engaging with them. Like right now it's a little, of course you should still be doing that, but now it's just pretty
You're like
simple.
head empty right now.
I think once I get that nap, I'm
The
good.
damn nap.
So clearly the hardest thing for you has been the sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. I think like that between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. those are always like the darkest times of like literally the
That's
day
what
end of my life.
Batman
Yeah.
says, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's always
No, but see,
it's always darkest before dawn.
when
And that's when he wakes up.
right. And maybe he's Batman. No, like
But the thing, like our dog Mayu always woke up around that time too, so it wasn't too out of the ordinary.
so it's just like a dog.
I
Yeah.
know.
honestly,
So you know how you
at least for this phase, it's pretty close.
No,
It's pretty
I
close, I'm
remember because
telling
they
you.
always talk about how like
I'll
they
let-
compare raising a dog.
I'll let you say that
how
because
raising
you
a dog
actually
is.
have a dog. I would
Yeah.
never say that. But you can say that
Yeah.
to your dog experience. Yeah. If your
Yeah.
dog was that needy.
I think the
Yeah.
dogs are hard.
Oh my god.
Tell that to Jessica.
No, like that's a whole conversation in itself of like how our two dogs like reacted to the birth.
Hmm.
Like Mayu, our youngest, was very like very interested, and Mochi from the beginning was just like, I don't want anything to do with this kid because she's the oldest, right? She's the princess, and like then we got Mayu, and she felt like she was replaced and whatnot. Then now we bring home another thing, and she's
Another
like,
thing.
yeah, so like
I
she's
cannot relate to this at all. I have no
And
idea.
then-
So technically, he's like ahead of you. He's had this is
I
the
guess
third
so.
child.
And
No,
then-
and
yeah.
some people have said like, "Oh, would you ever get a dog?" I'm like, "No way! I cannot add to this mess and chaos."
Has he asked for one yet?
No.
No, okay.
And actually, like
That's gonna
when
happen.
when he's around dogs, like it's always just like, "Well, hello," and that's it. Like he's not like
He's
in
like,
love.
wait
with
till
them.
he meets cats.
Does he watch Bluey?
He's had some Bluey.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't love it. He doesn't ask for it. Like he loves superheroes right now.
Are they having screen time now?
We went almost a whole year without any.
That's
screen time.
really impressive.
and
very
then
impressive,
but then like once it started happening, then it was like we had to like really like try to limit because it's so easy. It becomes such an easy thing to just
Especially in public.
yeah.
Well, if you're eating out, you're just
Right.
like, here you go.
eating out is tough because like eating out to me is like going on a plane. Like you just have to sort of like get through it. Unless it's like anyway, there's different types of eating outs.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the-
we don't have a strict no screen policy or whatever. I mean, the first 3 months is like we didn't even have time to turn the TV on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, like in some defense to screen time too, like the screen, of course, depending on what you're showing them, is able to introduce them to things that like you can't show them like easily, right? For like, for example, like I can't take him as a 9-month-old to like a construction site, but I can show him, oh, this is what a construction site or what a fire engine looks
Like
like.
Are you
Bob
showing the
Builder
fruit?
or
You
stuff
know
like
those
that.
fruit
Yeah,
sensory
that-
videos?
No, even that, like I'm not gonna go get every fruit for him to see and touch and feel, but hey, you can at least see what it looks like. And then he actually became very good at recognizing things. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like they can be introduced to things that you can't physically take them to.
Yeah. I just okay.
Wait, what's your take on that?
He's just like, I just like,
Okay. We Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 came out. Everybody at the office goes and watches it, and like we really want to
Not
see
me.
it.
I didn't get to see it. I had to hold back.
So we went to the drive-in to go
Oh,
watch it. So that way he could sleep in the
is that
back.
his first screen
So-
time?
His
Not just the regular screen, the biggest screen.
Yeah, with all the like the music, the radio stereo on too, and you hear the.
well, he
You imprinted something in him. Nature.
he
Nurture?
woke up on the second half, so he didn't see the first. But it did kind of work. He like slept through a majority of it.
Okay.
Was that his very first screen time moment?
It might
Yeah.
have been.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Miss
It
Rachel,
might have
Bluey, Mickey Mouse."
That's a good story for him.
Deadpool. And honestly, Disney owns most of it, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a Disney movie.
Just say Disney. Oh yeah,
I thought
it was like a Disney
yeah.
movie.
I mean, does your son like?
no, he doesn't know anything.
You don't tell him like
know?
Shang-Chi, like
Dude, he's 2.5 years.
Yeah,
although
he's wearing Batman,
You're right.
he's
Sorry, you're right.
wearing- yeah.
He does know superheroes. So yes, he. So here's and
does
hey,
he recognize?
here's
like,
a
Simu?
bone to pick with Marvel marketing and stuff. there's not a lot of Shang-Chi stuff out there. Like, Spider-Man and Friends, Spidey and Friends, getting to meet all the other superheroes. Shang-Chi's not one of them, but he gets to meet, Miss Marvel and
Black
Widow and all these things. And I'm like, yeah.
But he only likes Spider-Man.
He has affinity towards Spider-Man and Batman, and he knows the difference between who's in each other's universes. So
like
if you
DC and Marvel?
yeah, so if we're playing Batman and I'm saying, all right, I'm Green Goblin. He's like, no, Green Goblin Spidey.
Actually,
yeah, you're for real. Green Goblin Spidey, and then
who taught him that?
So how do you?
I think he knows because he sees them in the books.
Oh
and
my
that they don't cross over in the books or
Culture.
stories. So and like he knows obscure Batman like villains now too. Like he knows the villains obviously, like the good guys and bad guys. And he's like Clayface and Croc and like these not like of course there's Joker and Riddler, but like he's like going deep.
The sponsor of today's video is Squarespace. We love Squarespace and have been using their platform to build our brand and business online for years. Squarespace's new design intelligence combines 2 decades of design expertise and cutting-edge AI to empower you to build a website perfectly tailored to fit your needs. Then get more easily discovered with the help of their integrated SEO tools. All sites on Squarespace are optimized to show up more frequently on global search engines. And now with Squarespace Payments, it's easier than ever to manage your payments in one place. Give your customers the option to pay through popular payment methods including Apple Pay, Afterpay, and Klarna. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/wongfu to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now back to the video.
Has his personality kind of shown yet? Because I know that you mentioned one time that like has a little bit of attitude these days.
I know he's definitely.
Has it been coming out a little personality wise?
His personality right now is just that he's very social. He loves to make people laugh. He's a jokester.
So defiant sometimes, where he's just like no.
Very independent. So like when I'm trying to like have him do something, he'll push my hands away. No, me do.
Okay.
Or, no, don't.
Like,
do
I can do it
I
myself.
do it or something. But yeah, he's very social, and makes faces. Very headstrong. Yeah, like we have to negotiate with him. Like he's very one of the words that we taught him that he like learned to use very quickly in these things, like he learned already, so he can be like, I washed hands already if we're trying to get him, or like I did that already, and then a little bit. So we'll say, no, you can't do that, and then we'll be like, do that a little bit, like he's like, can I have a snack? No snack. A little bit of snack, like he knows these little
negotiator,
right,
businessman.
Wow, already.
Yeah.
But I taught him the word compromise.
Oh my god.
No,
Jesus.
no, but you just dumb it down, right? Like,
And Helen taught you that word.
It's like, hey, do you want something? And you, Baba wants something too. Compromise. You do a little bit, I do a little bit, and then
Can he say it?
Yeah,
Business.
But because he goes to does he go to preschool?
Yeah, he's in like a daycare preschool.
A daycare. Okay.
situation.
Do you notice that like his personality changed a little bit when?
Not really.
Because I feel like socializing with other kids his age. Because at first it's like he's just like by himself, where it's like with you guys.
Yeah. I definitely think like he became more vocal and stuff, but he was I think already talking a good amount. But now he's just more. He just has friends now, which is cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like he like knows there's certain kids there, which is nice, and yeah, like you see them like running around like come on, Charlie.
But yeah, I did notice like when they socialize with other kids, like the personality tends to
so
adjust
for
a little
for
bit.
sure they know the difference between things that they can do at school and at home.
Yeah.
And I'm always really like so we try to make sure like, hey, I don't know what you're doing at school, but this is what we're doing here. And that's on the bad side. There's also good things, like when we go to pick him up, we see he knows, oh, mommy, daddy's here, and the teacher goes, all right, what do you need to do? And he starts cleaning things up, putting things away, stuff like that, goes and grabs his back. But when we're at home, I'm like, hey, you need to pick this up, and he runs away because he knows that.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
It's
He knows
a difference.
because he can negotiate at home.
Right, he knows it's a different environment. Yeah.
Because he doesn't know the other people that well. Like he can feel like he can get.
There's authority. There's different kinds of authorities
Yeah.
that they've established. Yeah. Well, right now, the stage you're in is just like making him happy.
Yeah.
Introducing things. I think where I'm at, which is like the exciting thing, is that like I feel like things are really sticking now. But at the same time, it all adds up. Like one thing I will tell you, definitely there were times where he's just blank face staring, and you feel like you're talking to a wall. You think it's not going anywhere. But I really do feel like the reason why he's doing well right now is because it was all along the way. So just like believe that it works, believe that that something's happening
Yeah.
there for sure.
It's like repetitiveness
Yeah.
or
Meanwhile,
figuring
where
out.
I'm
Yeah.
And then does it all?
Yeah.
Where I'm
Only that,
at,
only
you know,
that?
where
Oh, you know
I-
what? Okay, I got a question for you
Yeah.
guys then. Okay, like what like I wanna say like what tricks work the best, but like tricks not in like a dishonest way or like
What do you mean by tricks? Like,
I
oh,
don't know,
like,
like
discipline
like-
or like.
I don't know.
Well, at
like,
this age,
try, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
At-
like
at this
doesn't-
age, like,
it's not absorbing anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
that
they're not
much.
aware of a lot. Like
Tricks in terms
if something
of
is something
what?
that he doesn't see anymore, he doesn't exist.
or if you have like an example of like something that worked. Like I read something recently where it was like the kid's like, oh, I don't like turkey, and then the mom was like, oh, this is actually
Oh.
white beef, and then it was like, oh, I like this, you know, like those kinds of things, you know.
Mm.
No, I like to have honesty in my
Yeah.
relationship with my child. I'm just kidding.
Just like soft like misdirections.
Bribe.
There's
them.
definitely, I mean, there's
Yeah.
for yeah.
Just kidding.
I'll say one that I've used for like my little cousins before.
Mm.
Like they were like pestering me, like wanting to play my PSP, right? And then I was like, okay, if you can untangle these headphones, you can play with my PSP. So he sat there for like a half an hour, like trying to
Half an
untangle these
hour.
headphones,
Mm.
and he forgot about the PSP. So like something like that.
Yeah.
Or it's like, for example, like my mom and I would do, it's like to discipline and stuff, or not discipline is not the right word, but it's like, you know, you keep telling them to like, oh, don't do this, don't do that. Like, oh, example, like
Yeah.
don't touch the stove or
Yeah,
something
and then
like
they go
that.
and they do it.
Yeah, so it's then you got to do reverse psychology and be like, okay, fine, do it. Do
Oh.
it. Do it. And then they don't want to
Uh-huh.
do it anymore because
Yeah.
they see that you're really mad.
Mm.
So basically, like, say the opposite.
Reverse.
But, like,
psychology,
first you need to
reverse-
try first, be like,
I've thought
oh,
about
like,
that
don't do
too.
that.
I thought about that too.
But yeah.
I can't think, nothing's coming to, maybe I'm doing it so naturally that I don't realize that I'm tricking. But definitely like the misdirects to like, if they're crying about something, like try to introduce them to something. He's at the age now where he will remember. Like I'll say, we'll misdirect. He really wants like this cookie, and I'll say, okay, you can have the cookie when we get home, okay? And blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And as soon as we get home, cookie.
Aww.
Like, and I'm just like,
But if you
dude,
don't
he's-
got that cookie,
That means he's gonna mistrust you forever.
right, yeah.
now.
No, so no,
Yeah.
and so
there's like a way to
Yeah.
phrase things too, where like they don't like hold it against you later.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, this is not really like a trick, but because we don't want to keep buying so many toys, right?
Yeah.
So now he went from Spider-Man to Batman to whatever. So he wanted a Batmobile, and so we're playing, and then we have this huge like kind of like Hot Wheels-ish looking car transporter, and I just said, hey, let me teach you something really cool. It's called imagination. Okay, I swear. No, and I said,
Yeah.
imagine means you close your eyes and you can do this, and then the thing becomes something else. And then I had him do it, and I said, "Look, it's a Batmobile." And then he was like, "Yeah, Batmobile." And so now like
Wow, that's nice.
when there's certain things where like, you know, it's not what it is, he'll go, "Imagination."
Oh, that's cute.
Imagination.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And then when they
I
get
could-
older,
yeah.
they're gonna be like, "Shut up."
But that's what imagining is, right? That's what we had to do. It's like you don't have something, you just got to pretend.
He's
Yeah.
gonna have like a social media post like, my dad when I was a kid
Yeah, he's gonna
told
be
me
like,
that this was a
trauma.
That's
Yeah.
it. Oh, that's his trauma. Okay,
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Yeah, yeah,
I can
that's
live
good,
with
that's
that if
good.
that's his trauma.
Like my dad didn't want to buy me that. It's an imagination.
But then what if that didn't work? Did you have a backup plan?
No, I mean just.
I mean, he's so
Yeah.
young,
Yeah.
also too.
Yeah.
But I think I've learned also like communicating is very important. Like I try to. I'm speaking as if I'm a parent.
You
but
are.
I'm not a
Yes,
parent.
you are.
But whenever like I know like I've said that my sister and I have disagreeing with each other and stuff, but then it's like, you know, I explain like we've
Yeah.
had some arguments because like, you know, like I have to help my mom is like too tired to like parent now, you know. I kind of have to help with the disciplining side, and I know that she'll probably not like me for that, like growing up, but I have to explain. I'm like, I know that I have to acknowledge,
Yeah.
validate, like, oh, I'm sorry that like,
Yeah.
you know, we're angry and like you're angry with that, and then I'm sorry that I did this, I didn't realize, but the reason why I want to do this, blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Apologizing to kids is
Yeah.
such yeah.
Yeah.
This like right there, that is actually such a new millennial
Yes.
like thing that none of our parents would have
Yeah.
ever done
Yeah.
for us. But like we're like applying it, and I hope that it is actually going to create a lot of
I hope
healthier
so.
relationships. Like even at his age right now,
Yeah.
when he's crying, like I'll do like, hey, just like sit down, look.
Yeah.
It's not just don't do that. It's not just saying that. It's like explaining, hey, this is why you know, if you do this, then this. If you do that, then that, right?
And validating, you know, sometimes it's like kind of annoying, right? Because you're just like, sometimes you know what, if they're upset, it's like, you know that we're doing it for their own good kind of thing.
This
but,
is also,
yeah.
but it also applies to just relationships. In
Exactly.
general,
That's true.
right?
No, but you mentioned something like in the last time too of like seeing like us seeing our parents interact with their son now. It's like they get a second shot at the parenting, and that's been really like cool to see, and like
although they for sure are doing it better and nicer.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, how do you feel about that?
I used to think
know?
like it's like a window into oh, maybe this is how they were with us. It's like, no, this is definitely not how they were with us. This is them as
I think for me, since our son's the first of his generation, I'm like, oh, this is how my oldest brother was treated as a baby.
Definitely not.
Well, they're more like removed from it now, so it's like they don't need to worry about like, oh, if something goes wrong, here you go.
Do they actually like to be involved? Do they want to be?
My dad's really involved. I think it's funny that I thought my mom would be, but she's like, she just wants the good. She doesn't want any diapers. She doesn't want to do any of that. But then it's like my dad's very affectionate towards her son. Yeah.
We're super lucky. Like both our moms, her mom and my mom, were like they were fine doing all that dirty stuff too. Like, so, but yeah, the village is very important.
Yes.
And we are part of your village.
Yes.
So, anytime, let me know.
Yeah.
I'm qualified.
We're gonna
She's qualified.
as soon as he's ready to catch that ball.
That damn
He's
football.
just waiting. He's waiting.
I know he's just gonna keep.
Yeah, we're gonna have a flag football.
You could still start it right now. You could still like toss some stuff and.
He's already holding his bottle and stuff like
is.
that. So I think
this
like
is a ball. This is a football.
I mean, you touched it on a little bit with like your sister, and I think like that. I think that too of if we were to have had a daughter, how different things would have been too. And then I don't know. That's crazy stuff.
What do you think would have been different? Oh my god.
Women, they go through so much from the earliest stages of their life. They go through so much, and
I mean, peeing's different though.
Yeah.
So
but you gotta wipe them differently because you don't want to get a UTI. Like I didn't have to deal with that, but you got to know this stuff.
But then they won't pee this way when you're changing them. You know, you won't have pee in your face.
Oh.
I think he wants to take a nap.
Yeah.
Go get some rest.
And donut holes.
Thanks, Benson. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Oh my god, he's out of here.
Oh my god, shoes on the couch.
No.